do one example of the same also. So this is the thing that we did in last session, and at some point, if you remember, we created a email column and we then dropped it. But do you remember creating this column?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me create it again. Right now, if we go back here and I here,
And so one more point, how to add value when we create a new column, how to add value to them.
just a moment. You have to add that using that thing insert into command you have to use, and you have to mention the column name that you are going to order in. Just instead of all the columns, you have to mention the column that you will be entering the values in.
So,
Okay. So in the is null, what will happen? Let us first see the table. Okay, now I have this email column and I don't have any email. But in a real world scenario, let us say we had email, but two of them were not having any email, right? Or maybe three of the emails are missing. In that case, I can use is null to replace the value, right? So here you can see the syntax. It is select is null, email, no email provided as email status from employee, right? What this will do is, okay, I think we have the email column. Yes. It will write as no email provided, right? So if I do this and I do like as email status, and I also get select, let us say first name, right? I get the first name and I also get the salary and I also get the employee ID. I think the spelling is wrong here, so we will see employee ID, right? Okay, the spelling still wrong. I hope it is not. Okay, so mm, okay, let me just cross check. Okay, there is employee underscore ID, right? Yeah. So now you will see, I will get employee ID as it is, first name as it is, salary as it is. But instead of this null values here, what I am getting is no email provided. Why? Because this is null, which is an inbuilt function kind of thing or operator. What it will do, it will in that column, whenever I'll get a null value, it will replace it with no email provided. So this is something you can write. You can even write dummy email or XYZ or ABCD. It will just replace the value as email status, that is email status in the employees table.
sir, is it same as default operator?
I would say no, because default operator is used mostly when we are, creating the things, but is null is used to display the things. So what default operator does, if I have this database, it will by default, let us say, by default, if I don't have an email, it will assign me no email. But here it is not happening in the database. If you will see the table again, let us say we do the table again, it is still empty. Okay, there is no default value, but when I am getting the results, then I am getting this thing. So some things are only there for the result, like concatenation as is used. So it is only used in the result. There is no change in the database whatsoever. And as an analyst, most of the things that you will do would be getting the result set, right? When we change something in the database by using update statement, alter table statement, it is completely different. But here, what we are just trying to do is we are just trying to get some result set. Result set is this, right? So you can manipulate it according to your needs. And why do we do this? Let us say I get a lot of data to, you know, analyze as an analyst or as a scientist. I get a lot of data to train a model on. But I do not need all the data. I want some filter data. I only want this data. So I run this query and I get some result. So I can just right click here and I can save the result as a CSV file. Like I can name it XYZ. I can save it in an Excel file. So whatever result you get, you can save it in an Excel file. It will download the result. That is why this is a result set, which is important that we get as displayed. But this does not mean that it is changing something in the data base itself. In the database, still you see that it is empty. But if I want to get some temporary, change in this, I can do. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Now, what we will do is we will move forward with distinct. Okay. So what distinct does, very, very simple. It gives us unique values, right? Non-duplicate values. So how it works? I will just write, okay, I will just write before column name, just use the word distinct. So I will write select distinct. Okay, what we have in the employee table, that is distinct department ID, right? So I will write select distinct department ID from employee. So we get 1, 2, 3, right? If I will just write department ID, what I will get? I will get all of the values 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, right? But when I write distinct, I will only get the unique values, right? I think this is very simple. If you combine two of them, then you will get a different thing, and that is the pair should be unique. Okay, let me make it a little bit more clear to you. So in the employee table, if I write select distinct department ID, comma, let us say first name. So you will say that, oh sir, it is giving all the values. What is the use of distinct here, right? But the use is that it will get distinct pair and there is no repetition of value here. If there would have been a repetition, then it would not get here. Okay. First of all, before jumping into this two column thing, I will make this clear again. Don't worry. This is clear to you. What is the use of basic distinct command? I hope.
Yes, sir.
Any right now, just okay. I will copy paste it here. Create and let us remove this. Okay. Now here you will see that what is happening. It is trying to find distinct pair of department ID and first name. Okay, but first name itself is unique for each of them. So there is no different values we are getting. But let us suppose, let me create a dummy table for you. And it was like 1. Let us go with this. So it was like 1 AB, 2 AC, 3 AC, 1 AB, and 2 AC. Okay. Now if I do this, let us say I do select distinct, let us say this is ID and this is section. If I do distinct ID, what I will get? 1, 2, and 3, right? And what if I do a distinct section? I will get AB and AC, right? Clear to you? Clear to all?
Yes, sir.
But if I do a combined distinct, as I've done here, जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे किया, distinct department ID and distinct first name. So if I combine them, then what I will get? Okay, then I have to do it like this. So if I combine this, I will get 1 AB, 2 AC, 3 AC, and that is all, right? Because 1 AB and 1 AB is getting repeated, so this would be, only one of them will get appeared. So when we are doing combine, it will try to find the combine unique values in the particular table. But in this first name and department ID, there is no unique value because first name सबके अलग अलग है, ठीक है? यहाँ पर मतलब सारे यूनिक है, कोई repeated value नहीं है. There is no such repeated value in this particular pair. But if there was, like, let us say there was one more Emily in department ID 1, so that value would not have been repeated because I've used the distinct column. Okay. So I hope the distinct thing is clear to you. Any questions in this?
Yes, clear.
Okay, great. So now let us move forward with aggregate function, and we will keep it till aggregate function for today. We will do this group by and having tomorrow, right? So aggregate function, if anyone want to,
Tomorrow we have classes.
sorry, not tomorrow, next week. Sorry,
Okay.
Saturday,
Okay.
right? So aggregation, if you want to explain me what is aggregation, anyone have any idea? Aggregation, aggregated function, sometimes in math, sometime in statistic. Have you been through this?
Drops on aggregation.
Okay. So see, aggregation is accumulating the things and getting a single value out of multiple values, right? So if I have, like, let us say marks of all the students, I can aggregate it and get a single value. How? I will find the average marks. Now it could be that 10 students के marks थे, 30 students के marks थे, aggregate होके average एक ही आएगा, right? Average could be 32, average could be 42, 47, but there would be a single value. Same is the case with sum. You will get a single value. You will get a single value, right? So that is the idea behind aggregation. Aggregate function performs okay, this is in SQL, but in general, aggregate function is, it will take multiple values and give you a single value, single aggregate. Okay. And they perform calculation set of values and return a single value. So this is the major thing that is about aggregate function, right? They are often used by group by clause and summarize large data sets. So group by we will understand, don't worry, later on. As of now, we will just understand this aggregate function, and we will just understand the basic, and then we will use them a lot in the coming part also, right? So count will count the rows, sum will add the values, average will give you the average value, maximum will give the maximum, minimum will give the minimum, right? So these five, just have a look. I think these are self-explanatory. We don't need to dive much deeper into them, but obviously we will go through some of the examples. So I will write aggregate function. Let me mention here all of them. So we have this count function, we have this sum, we have this average, we have this max, and we have this min, right? So first I will write select count, okay, not count, but we'll write select number of employees, sum of salary, and average salary. So what I can do, I will just write select count. Okay, so count is a function. Let me write in caps, select count. What we will count if we want to get the number of employees? Which column I should be counting? What do you think, guys?
Employee ID.
Employee ID.
Because it is unique. If I count anything else, if let us say I do name, then if two people have the same name, then it will give us some issue, right? So employee ID as total employees, and sum of salary as total salary, right, from employee. So total employees 10 and total salary is 692,000. Similarly, I'll just give you to give me the average salary, maximum, and minimum salary. Okay, so just try this query and just answer this question here so that I can say that you understood the concept. Count and sum is clear to you what you have to do. So average, you have to use AVG, maximum and minimum, it is max and min. Okay, so do this and share your answer in the chat box. So this solution shared is correct. Select max salary as maximum, min salary as minimum, and average salary as average salary from employee. Okay. So this was the aggregate function. These are clear to you? What are aggregate function? Count, sum, maximum, minimum, average.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have one question.
Yeah, sure.
So for an example, there are 15 columns,
Mm-hmm.
and we need all 15 columns, and we need one extra column with average salary. So do we have to write all 15 columns after select, or we can write select all and this column something kind of? So
Okay, so you cannot do aggregated functions with column functions. Skillly, we will understand window function in later on. But this thing that you are asking, like if you can get this average salary, so if even if I want to get only two columns, I cannot do this. Like if I were to write select first name, comma, average salary from employee. Now see, I will run this and it is showing invalid. Why? Because first name will give 10 different values. 10 different names are there. Average salary will give only one value. Right, so this will not match up. That is why aggregated function cannot be, chosen here with these normal things. Okay, we can use group by and where, but we cannot do aggregated functions with normal column names like I have written here. Syntactically, it will look like there is no error, but logically it is having error because average salary gives you single value. That is the rule for aggregated functions, right? It will always give you a single value. So you cannot fetch them just like you do with the names.
yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. One thing that maybe we can try is if, let me go back to this thing. Hmm. Okay, here. Instead of this, if I write select star, I think this is something that you might have wanted to ask. Right? This is something that we can do. If you are having this confusion, ki if I want to fetch one new column with this rule,
Yes, sir.
and then I have to write name of all the columns, then you can just write star comma this new column and you will get all the details. Okay, so you can do this. Is this clear to you what I've done here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you want to get all the columns with one two additional column, you can write select star, but that rule does not apply with the aggregated functions because you just cannot even get the usual columns with
Okay.
aggregated functions. Okay.
Aggregated functions only works for a single transaction, right?
Yes, because it will return single value, so you cannot do it like that. We have like this window functions where we can do this. So we will cover that in the advanced SQL part where we will try them how we can do that. It is like very simple. It what they basically do is that if the average is 692, it will show 692, 692 in each of the row. But there is a different use case for them. Why do we use them? We will understand in the later part. As of now, just remember aggregated function cannot be used in this. Okay, cannot be used with the normal columns. Now, last thing for today, let us, if we have time, we will complete group by and having with aggregated function. Okay, so now you already know that you cannot do aggregated function on the columns directly, but there is something called as group by and something called as having. Group by is just grouping the things, and having is just a filter on the aggregate function. Like it is as close to as a where clause, but where clause is used in normal data, having is used in aggregated function and is used with group by. And this is a very common interview question. People might like it is easy and general question, but they might ask you because there is a very clear difference. Okay, so before going into this, let us understand what is group by. So group by is used to group rows that have same values into summary rows, like finding total salary by department. So let us go back one bit and let us run this query. What do you see here? Maximum salary, minimum salary, and average salary. Right. Now let me do select okay, department, comma, maximum salary as average salary from employee, department ID. Okay. Now what will happen if I will run this?
Will not work.
It will not work, right? Because just now I told you this is a normal column and these are the aggregated ones. But if I do a group by department ID, now what will happen? It will group them into departments and then find the aggregated values. So now for department 1 there are different values, for department 2 there are different values, for department 3 there are different values. अब क्या होगा कि वो मैक्सिमम सैलरी इट विल कैलकुलेट फॉर डिपार्टमेंट 1 में मैक्सिमम कितना है और 1 में मिनिमम कितना है. Similarly average for department 2, similarly average for department 3, right? So this is how do we why we use group by, right? So let us write here as a new topic group by, right? And let us say ऐसा having भी साथ साथ कर ही लेते हैं. So let us go here again I will write group by department ID. So I will write here like this. Okay. So group by is clear to you what is happening here in group by. Just this aggregated data I have grouped into departments. Even I can group it by employee ID also if I select employee ID. And for every employee ID, it will calculate maximum salary, but it will not make any sense because every employee salary would be his maximum, his minimum, and his average. But in department, we can find this. So this group by is clear to you because this is important. Any doubts in group by?
Can you share this in chat box so that we can just refer this afterwards also while revising this?
Yes. All the queries that I do in class, like this whole file, this is updated in the LMS with the session itself. So if you will open the LMS, let me show you if I can. Okay. So this is like the admin side of me. So just a second. Okay. So see, I upload this from here and we are in this, right? So whenever you will see this session, create insert, we have done this session, there would be the SQL file. So this SQL file will contain all the queries that I'm doing. This same file I will upload there also. Okay. So don't worry about the queries. I will share all the files along with the PDF in the LMS after the session also. Okay. Also, I'll give you the time to practice this also. I'll share it in the chat box afterwards. But as of now, group by clear to you? Any questions in this? Theoretically, like this is used for, why we are using it? At least the theory part is clear.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And this table is also clear. We are getting maximum, minimum salary department wise. So there are different values, right? Now, let us say I want to get only the average where the average salary is greater than 70,000. Then what will I do? Generally